Hey, welcome back. It's been a while since I've done a layout update. So I'm going to let you look at this unshrouded J from MTH for a few moments while I talk about what's been going on and what's to come. The past several months, definitely made some changes, done some different things. What I'm about to show you here is a larger 3-rail layout that I built. I still have my 2-rail layout stuff going, but it's going to be on a slightly smaller scale in a different area of the basement. I decided to maintain, I should say, construct a new 3-rail layout because some of the stuff I had, to me, it just wasn't worth the expense of converting to 2-rail. Some of it I did, some of the stuff I did not, and my kids as well have some I actually have a ton of 3-rail stuff, so it just seemed like a fun thing to keep, and it made some sense, so that's the way I went. I built a new 3-rail layout. The layout I'm going to show you just a little bit here. It's just over 40 feet long, 12 feet wide. I used Atlas O 3-rail track and switches. Currently I'm running MTH's DCS. I'm going to be hooking up my legacy system soon from Lionel. Right now the layout's in its raw form. Track work is done. It's down. Everything's wired. DCS is hooked up. I've been running things for a month or two now, just trying to make sure I've got no operational issues, track work problems, wiring problems, that type of thing. And I got to say I'm very pleased with how all that came out. I did initially have a signal problem with the DCS. Long story short, it turned out to be an issue with the older Rev i3A TIU that I had. So I found a good deal on the latest Rev TIU, so I purchased that. I went from having 3s and 4s over the whole layout to instantly having solid 10s everywhere. So clearly it was a signal generation issue with the TIU. So I'm debating if I'm going to send it back to MTH or not and have them try to look at it, see if they can do something with it. But that said, everything is good now, though. I used speaker wire for the wiring all over the place. I'll show you that in a little bit. And again, everything's hooked up except the switches. The switches are all still manually thrown, but all of them can be accessed with the exception of one. It can be accessed very easily from the aisle, no problem at all. I am, however, going to hook them all up to the AIU in the near future, just again so I can have that operational capability if I want it, as well as being able to, program routes and do some of the fun stuff that we can do with the DCS. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it up now, start taking you around, give you a brief tour. Everything you're about to look at here is towards one end of the layout. These 3 tracks off to the left, not sure yet. They'll either be staging tracks or they will be an industry, a station. Who knows? We'll see. Off to the right is the double track main line. I've got double track for approximately 70% of the layout. The crossovers there, those are Atlas 7.5s. The curves down here are, I want to say, I believe I used 108 and 099. I got to double check, but I think that's what I went with. Anyway, pretty broad curves. Again, the layout's 12 feet wide, so I was able to, utilize that pretty well. The track you see here at the bottom, diverging off to the left on the lower portion there, that's going to eventually lead, if we follow it around, to a engine servicing facility. The track on the right and the one in the middle are going to lead off in this direction to a coaling facility, water, sand, oil columns, and eventually to a turntable in that open area there behind it. Ultimately to a roundhouse. It's going to incorporate some other shop buildings, things like that you'd find around a typical facility such as that. The track on the left here is eventually going to lead across that opening back to the main line on the other side once I construct a lift out section for that. That'll come in a later video, but it's going to be pretty cool from how I got it designed. So I'll make a video, show you that. That should be pretty fun. Continuing back over here, this little bump out in the main line. Pardon my jiggles, I'm kind of freehanding the camera here. That's to incorporate one of the ideas I have for some scenery and stuff like that. So in the future, that bump out will make more sense than it does right now. So that'll be coming in a couple of months. So I'm going to just take you around a bit. Very quickly, if you look around right now, I've just got, you know, some painted masonite up for the backdrop and stuff. That's eventually going to get covered with backdrops from Backdrop Warehouse. So that'll be changing soon. I'm going to just bring you down here, take you down. Again, pardon the clutter. Going into the opening where the turntable eventually will go. If you look here, you can see I incorporated a Y, and then off in the distance there is the retract that'll come back around behind this computer. It's going to come back around again, leading from the Y. It'll come around this loop here, returning right in front to where I'm standing, leading across back into the double main, and going back down to where we started the video, right in this area. So I've taken you all the way around, brought you full circle. The lift out bridge here, it's going to work for the time being. I am going to redo that, so that'll be another video in the future. It works just fine right now. I've got no track alignment issues, I've got no problems with it, but there's a neater, better way to do that. So I'm going to tackle that down the road. But again, coming back this way, we look from the lift bridge I just showed you. The track continuing straight on the left leads to that single loop for the reverse. The double track here continues around to the right, and we could either follow it to the left, leading back into that reversing loop, or to the right here, heading back towards our double track main line. Now coming back to this little mess of switches here, initially I thought I was going to have operational issues, some derailments, things like that, especially with larger rolling stock. Thankfully I haven't. Right here I'm using a Atlas, you know, one of their Ys, into SO 72 switch right here, believe it or not, and I haven't had any problems. I've gotten everything through here from short cabooses all the way up to those CZ cars from Atlas. I've run, as far as locomotives, for you know, 4 or 6 axle diesels through it, no problem. I've run some of my 484 Northerns through here, a couple of Challengers. I've run Mikado I have through here, no problems. So thankfully, knock wood, there's nothing rearing its ugly head, at least yet. So I'm thankful for that. Excuse me. So we'll just continue back around through the mess here again. Down here is where I have my TIU and AIU mounted. As I was saying earlier, you know, I switched out to the latest Rev TIU, which dramatically increased the signal performance and the operational performance of all the MTH locomotives I have. So very happy with that. Just going to bring you back down here again. Again, pardon the randomness of the footage, but I'm just kind of walking around here. And if we come under here, you can see wiring-wise, nothing has been cleaned up or tidied up yet. It's just all a big spaghetti mess. Here's one of my terminal blocks. As you can see, speaker wire. I didn't focus too much on putting all the wiring up just yet because, you know, I wanted to make sure I had a good running and operating layout. And now that I have that, and I know everything's good, and I feel confident beginning my scenery work, I want to go ahead and start by tidying up all this wiring, labeling it, you know, that kind of thing, making it a lot neater than what it is. So in the future, it'll be easier to trace down any issues and stuff like that. So that is pretty much how I wired everything, is with speaker wire and stuff, and it's working really well. So I'm just going to kind of come back to this view here and pan back around. These are some more of the Atlas California Zephyr cars. And the rest of my plywood central right now. So again, this is just what I've been working on right now. More videos on the 2-rail stuff will be coming in the future. I'm going to be doing a lot more with that and a lot more with this. Future videos are going to include everything, like I said, from detailing this 3-rail track to scenery work to excuse me, to weathering the rolling stock, changing over a lot of the equipment to decouplers, and weathering some locomotives, hanging the backdrops, putting in trees, you name it. So a lot more to come in the future. Hope you're going to stick around for a lot of it. Again, this video is just kind of to get you up to speed here, and that's why I'm just kind of freehanding it and not really utilizing a tripod right now. So bear with me. And like I said, a lot more to come in the future. A lot of good stuff. So probably midsummer, maybe towards August even. But we'll start getting a lot more videos coming up in the near future for you guys to check out and follow along and share your thoughts and comments and stuff. So that said, thanks for watching, and we'll have some more stuff coming just down the road.